Good morning and welcome to the Firearms Policy Coalition's Coffee with Craig, where we talk about firearms, firearms policy, culture, politics, you name it, we talk about it right here. So please remember to like and share this video feed so that your friends can join us in the conversation, and follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel in case you haven't already done so that you can get the alerts when these conversations take place live. Also, please support our sponsors, Sacramento Black Rifle, Sparks Black Rifle, two of the leading firearms retailers on the West Coast, helping to promote your right to keep and bear arms. Finally, FPCgear.com, great place to buy cool t-shirts like the one I am wearing right now. Go there and you can support the Second Amendment and look good doing it. That's FPCgear.com. Well, it's been a whirlwind 24 plus hours, or almost 48 hours. Many of you have been following a lot of the things that have been going on relating to 3D printing of firearms and the code being made available for download online. For those of you who are unaware, there was a lawsuit that took place that was settled between the federal government and Defense Distributed, which would allow them to then put online plans for the 3D, for the printing of the 3D Liberator as well as other firearms. Well, needless to say, there was an injunction put in place by a judge in Seattle because the Washington State Attorney General decided that him and seven other attorneys generals decided they wanted to sue because they didn't want this information to be out there. It was speech that they did not like. Well, Defense Distributed took it down. FPC and a number of other organizations put it back up by launching a website called codeisfreespeech.com. Well, since then, we've spoken with all manner of media, including CNN, Fox. We've been dealing with the New York Daily News, the Washington Times, Wall Street Journal, and had multiple conversations as things kind of progressed throughout the day yesterday, culminating near the end of the day yesterday with Amazon, we believe. Well, in essence, our site was taken down. We received a takedown notice from Amazon. We don't know if it was in response to, we're pretty sure it's in response to the temporary restraining order that was put in place. But overall, it was something that really they shouldn't have done. Anyway, all that having been said, codeisfreespeech.com is back up and running. So encourage you guys, please go there, download the plans. I know you probably don't have a 3D printer. You probably don't have the Ghost Gunner. Doesn't matter. Go and download it. Go there and download the information. And that's kind of what I wanted to get to and answer a few questions for folks today. Because a lot of folks have asked some questions about the whole thing. And I really thought it would be good to just kind of pontificate just a little bit on the whole thing. You know, one of the questions that was asked was, are you scared about, someone getting a hold of these plans and being able to manufacture or create a firearm and then using it against somebody? And, my response to that, every time I was asked it was, individuals, before there was no such thing of 3D printing of guns, individuals who have wanted to do harm unto others have had absolutely no problem getting access to the resources and the tools that they desired in order to be able to do it, whether it was bomb or bomb-making material, whether it was firearms, whether it was a vehicle. They have absolutely no problem with that. No problem. They have no problem getting access to the resources to do harm to others, or the tools that they need to do harm to others. So all this does is this just simply affects law-abiding citizens. That's all these restrictions really affect or apply to. And they're like, but wouldn't you feel guilty if one of these was used in an attack? If someone got those plans and used them? I said, well, first of all, understand, the plans are now everywhere. That's number one. So I don't know if they got it from our website or from someone else's website. But here's the thing. Let me ask you this question. I said, if someone bought a car from you and then they drove that car into a crowd of people, would you feel guilty about selling them the car? I mean, should you feel guilty about selling them the car? If you work at a hardware store, at a nursery, and someone comes in and buys fertilizer, and then they utilize that fertilizer to manufacture a bomb, you've done everything that you are legally supposed to do, right? If it's an excessive amount or whatever, I don't know if there's a law relating to if someone buys an excessive amount. I don't know if there's a law relating to that. But you do everything that legally you're supposed to do. Should you feel guilty? I mean, did you do anything wrong? And the answer is no, you didn't. And no, you shouldn't. All you're doing is you're providing information and resource for law-abiding citizens. And it goes back to the whole concept that I've talked about is when the government is in an act of tyranny uses government power to take away your individual liberty for fear that you might abuse it. Now, we have laws in place that address when people abuse their liberty. We already have laws in place that deal with that person when they do that. But what we should not do, we should never do, is allow on government say-so for them to restrict or limit or infringe upon our liberty for fear that someone might abuse that liberty. So anyway, that was kind of my perspective when it came to overall to that conversation. I noted that this is primarily a speech issue. And we note that when it comes to other areas, when it comes to the Second Amendment, we have found that municipalities seem to have absolutely no problem restricting our constitutional civil liberties. And when I say when it comes to the Second Amendment, I mean that other civil liberties become suspect. I mean, you have right now, you can literally lose your property you can lose your private property. You don't have, you can be told that you are not, what to do with your private property because it has to do with guns. When they tell you how your firearm has to be stored. And in some places, they want you to store your firearm one place and your ammunition another. And they want it under lock and key in a vault somewhere where it is completely and wholly of no use to you. Well, that's telling you what to do with your private property. Then there's also a lot of these red flag laws that deal with due process, that take away your due process rights, where they're allowed to have secret court hearings where someone you may or may not know will convince a judge that you are a danger to yourself or others, and you lose your right to keep and bear arms. You lose your private property rights. Law enforcement can be sent to your home to search your home or your place of business in order to confiscate your firearms. And then when you do eventually get to court, you have to prove that you are not a danger to yourself or others. In other words, you are guilty until proven innocent. Why? Because guns. Even free speech. I mean, you have people who are not allowed to wear shirts that say that they support the National Rifle Association or the Firearms Policy Coalition. Kids that are being told, take off that shirt, turn it inside out, or you will be suspended. That's happened multiple times in multiple places. In the state of California, you can't have the picture of a handgun on the outside of your store if you sell firearms. You can't have a picture of a handgun. Oh, did I forget to mention that there's certain billboards that the state has given control to local municipalities where they tell them, well, yeah, you can have all sorts of advertisements except you can't have guns. Can't promote firearms. A constitutionally enumerated right, and they don't allow you to exercise it. So all of our liberties have become suspect as a result of this. And now you have companies like Amazon, fully and wholly caving. Where they're like, yeah, no, we're going to come against your speech. Think about that, though. And I really want you to think about that. Here is a company that is created by and founded on the idea of technology. Without technology, without computer technology, computer coding, and free speech, Amazon doesn't exist. And yet they found it necessary to censor speech because they don't like it. Makes you wonder what else Amazon is censoring, huh? I wonder what films don't make it into Amazon Prime, or what music doesn't make it into Amazon Music. I wonder what products they don't allow. I mean, you hear what I'm saying, right? I mean, here it is now. You have, not only do you have government tyranny, but now you have corporate tyranny. People saying, well, no, I find this offensive or that offensive, so therefore we're going to shut you down. I wonder what sort of stuff that other people find offensive that they don't shut down. What other websites out there that they don't shut down? Kind of interesting. Makes you wonder. Anyway, I think it's important that what we do here is we continue to do what we're doing. That we continue to make the information available to you. You continue to share that information with your friends and encourage people to go there and download the information. Once again, you may or may not have a ghost gunner. You may or may not have a 3D printer. But you one day might have access to one. And then, hey, do your thing. Anyway, folks, I want to appreciate you guys for tuning in. I want to appreciate you guys for indulging me and let me kind of get some stuff off my chest this morning. Once again, this show doesn't happen without you. This effort, this work doesn't happen without you. So I'm going to ask you to please do us a favor. Take a moment. Join the Firearms Policy Coalition. It's real simple. Just go to joinfpc.org. That's joinfpc.org. Become a member. If you're already a member, you can also make a donation. We don't have Michael Bloomberg. We don't have a billionaire, multi-billionaire, or a billionaire, or even a multimillionaire. We don't have big, huge donors. We survive based on your support. The 10, 20, 50, 100, 1,000, maybe dollar contributions that you guys put forward, that you guys bring forward. Those are what fuel the work that we do here at the Firearms Policy Coalition. Anyway, folks, that's going to be it for today's Coffee with Craig. I thank you guys for tuning in, and I thank you for being a part of the fight for civil rights. Remember, got to use them or you're going to lose them. You guys take care.
If you like our videos, follow, subscribe, like, and share.